Welcome. I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this beautiful card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You'll also find links for the products I used. Just click those links and it'll take you to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I have to tell you that I have used this a lot. I love it. I think the cards end up being beautiful for men, for women, for sympathy, for thanks, for birthdays, just about anything. They've also got some fun moths or butterflies here, some flowers, and the label and several different greetings for you. Some of these dies are used as outlines for the stamps that are here, and some of them are useful just by themselves. There's also an embossing folder, which is gorgeous all by itself. I just absolutely love it. My ink is the Peaceful Pine, and I'm also going to alter the color of the green a little bit with some basic white craft ink. I'm using some Peaceful Pine ribbon and a water painter. My cardstock, of course, I've got the envelope. I'm using the heavy, thick, basic white card base, a piece of Peaceful Pine that is 4 by 5 1/4 for the front layer, and I have a piece of white that's 3 3/4 by 5 for the embossed layer. I have already cut another piece of white for the label and for this particular fern. If I were just doing one, I would stamp it first and then die cut it. But I found if you're doing a whole lot of them, you can cut them closer together and then put them in the stamp positioner tool and fit them in there, and it works really nicely. You might say, where did I get these pieces from? Well, I'm getting them from the center of this piece. So here's the stamp positioner tool, and I have already die cut, as I said. What I do is I stamp first and then die cut. And in this case, I stamped the label and then die cut these two. And then I stamped this piece so I knew exactly where that needed to go. And then put another die cut here for the outline border here. So I already have these obviously in place. Once you've done this, you really don't want to move these stamps around at all. And then I just need to ink up these pieces. And fit these in the stamp positioner. Okay, so I've got this inked. I just need to set it here, take another look to make sure nothing's changed, and press down. I've seen lots of tools for to get an even pressure, but somebody suggested a dry erase board eraser, and it works great. And the best tool for getting this out is a take your pick tool. So I can move that over here, take this one out, and then I just need to ink this one piece. I absolutely love these new ink cases, but I will tell you that they're not automatic for me yet, so I'm looking forward to when those become automatic. Now that I have those, I can bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for you. So I've got my number 1 plate and the number 2 die cutting plate, my cut up plate. I'm going to take that Peaceful Pine, and for the most part I am using the large fern. For my sample I just used the large fern and then this kind of lacy leaf, but if you want to cut more than that, that's okay with me. We just need to stay away from the outside border. And this one's a really fun die. I don't know if I've got room for all of that. Maybe. Let me see. Just need to make sure that there's space between each of them, because if they shift a little bit, you don't want them on top. And do I have at least 1/8 of an inch border? And there, I've got that. And cover that up with my clear plate and roll it through. Now, one of the things, maybe because I've used it so much, because I've made a lot of cards with this, sometimes when I go through, they do not cut all the way through. So I'm going to flip this over. Oh, I guess I can't see what I'm doing because it's so cut up. If it doesn't cut through, there's a couple of things that I do. One is, I should have left it all in. One is just flip both pieces over so I'm still cutting into my cut up plate and roll it through again. And that usually fixes the problem. This has a lot of pieces that kind of hook in together. And so this is a little bit difficult to get out, but it looks like it's cut all the way through. It's just hooking together. There we go. Don't throw this piece away. We're going to use that. Okay, and now I'm going to take off the die cutting pieces. And I've got the embossing folder now. And I'm going to put the white cardstock in here. I really love these curly pieces, so I want to be sure and get that in showing. So I'm putting this piece in the top right corner just because I want to make sure that that shows. Cover it up with the embossing platform or plate. Popping is absolutely normal and fine. And isn't that just gorgeous? So far, I've really only used the white, but it would be beautiful in green or inking those to highlight that. And I can also put, and I'm also going to put the envelope flap in, and I am leaving the envelope out extended, and I want to put the crease right at the edge of where the embossing stops. There's about 1/8 of an inch of embossing, 1/8 of an inch border on the folder. And so I want to emboss all right to that edge of the and I have an elegant embossed envelope. I brought you back down so you can see what I'm doing here. And I have 4 pieces in this case of die cut. By the way, there's some more holes here that you can die cut for more detail. And I have used a variety of different greens, which is nice and easy. But you can also change the color of these. And I just have a piece of window sheet. I have some retired washi tape on it just because the window sheet tends to disappear on the desk. And I'm going to just put a drop of the re-inker. This is actually Whisper White, so it's been around for a while. And I've got that, and I've got my watercolor brush. I've squeezed out several drops of water so that I can thin this down. This is a thick ink, and I'm just going to paint a little bit of the white, in this case along the seams. I am kind of rolling the brush around as I use up the craft ink from one side. Of course, you can go back over this to get the look you're looking for. I just want to highlight that a little bit. Now that's a lot, but I kind of like that it is on one side, maybe having more white. I don't know if you can hear the dog snoring here. I seem to always have a dog at my feet. Oh, I've actually got two. The other one's deciding to, must be dreaming here. Okay, and I don't know if I want to add any more. Maybe just want a little bit up the center here. And again, this is totally up to you. Just thought I'd bring that in as an option. Also, as an option, you can put a dot of the Peaceful Pine re-inker, and that's way too much ink probably. I want to clean the white ink off of here, so I'm just squeezing some water on here and brushing. And again, squeezing a little bit of water. And that's probably too wet to work with. But just putting a little bit of green along here if you want. Again, this, I haven't done this before. This is the first time on this that I have done this. And I better hurry because the next door neighbor's gardener is here. So let me see if I can finish this before they get right next to our fence. And of course you can just wash that off and use it again. So now I'm going to put this together, and I'm going to just glue this onto my card front. I have found that most people use way too much of this glue. One of the disadvantages is if you have to pull it up and you've used lots of glue, you've really probably got a mess. With just a few dots on there, it's not a mess to clean it up. And then I'm putting the white with that curly fern. I think that's called a fiddly fern. And you could pop this up with dimensionals, but I'm going to pop up the label, and I do not like using multiple layers of dimensional if I'm going to put it in the mail. Let me grab my silicone craft sheet and put glue on the back of these. And as I said, on this one I just used the 2 die cut leaves, and I may save one of these for the inside of my card. I want to go up kind of high with this one. And then I'll put this one over top and down a little bit. I'm going to put this label on with dimensionals. I'm rushing because that gardener sounds like he's getting closer. I'm going to put this one on, and I just want to barely cover up. I don't want to totally cover up those words, so maybe like that. And this is actually going to be nice for the inside here. What do you think? Okay. Then I need just 8 inches of this ribbon. Then I'm going to make a bow, just a normal bow, a loop, go around the first loop, press this one through, but instead of keeping this loop, I'm going to pull it all the way through. And before I pull it tight, I want to make it the right size. And if you pull this one down quite a bit and then pull this tight. Okay, I really have to finish up because that gardener, they've got a big backyard next door. It's actually 3 yards all put together, and he'll be there forever. So this is kind of a small bow, and then just a glue dot or 2. And this will help hold down the bottom of those ribbons too. I mean, of the fern stems. And that's it. What do you think? Do you like it painted or not? Either way is fine. And the elegant embossed envelope. Thank you. Here is the web address where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. I offer lots of resources on my website. Click Shop to see the online exclusives, clearance items, and the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. That includes cardstock samplers for all the current and retired Stampin' Up! Cardstock. Click Inspiration to find all the projects with instructions going all the way back to 2011. You may also want to check out the Basics button where I share about stamps, paper, cutting bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Click Getting Organized to find case inserts and labels, color tools, and a video of my craft wall, and more. Click From Evernote to the CraftSpace app to find out how you can keep track of all the craft products you own. You can find just what you want for your next project, whether you're searching by product, color, words, or themes. You can also browse through thousands of craft products that you might want to add to your wish list. More organization means more time for crafting. Click Stamp Together if you're in Ventura County, and come to my house and we can all craft together. You can also join my team if you're anywhere in the United States. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my website so you don't miss a thing. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.